Okay, ladies, gentlemen, hello, welcome to another episode of Expert Reviews. We're here on Sand River with an SU-100 driven by Hijack, who I believe is one of my mods on Twitch. So how lovely. SU-100, one of my favourite tanks from the line of these talentless titties from the Russian line. The ISU-152 is present here, which now doesn't have the BL-10. It has some pretender to the throne of dirt, which is very, very sad indeed. But it does look like we are using the 122mm gun on this vehicle. 4.69, nice, rounds per minute, 175mm as standard pen. We got 20 AP shells here, 10 APCR and 6 HE. We got 217 pen with those premium APCR shells and 61 with the HE, which would take your alpha from 90 to 530. All of that with an accuracy of 0.43 and an aim time of 2.9. Certainly a bit of a derpy gun, but I mean, it's what you expect from a Russian 122, and certainly within a tier 6 game, it's chunky. Taking 390 alpha damage at tier 6 is certainly going to leave a mark, but here we are in a tier 8 game, so we'll have to see how we navigate. Now, you saw him moving off there. He was doing that with the benefit of a horsepower per ton ratio of 16.83, driven by, I think, a 520 horsepower engine, moving this 32 to 38 ton vehicle around the battlefield up to its top speed of 50 kilometers per hour, which is quite nice. Well, you... Why you'd hesitate to call this thing extremely mobile. 50 in a straight line is nice. 14 in reverse, though. Let's be fair to it, not awful, but they ain't exceptional. Right? If you're backing away in this thing, you probably want to turn and run before you get overwhelmed, rather than trying to back away in combat. Anticipation, certainly useful skill with the SU. That's an odd explosion. Just went off nearby him. Perhaps someone looking for a blind fire or two. Are you going to connect this one? No, you're not. Let's talk about those AP shells, shall we? 780 meters per second shell travel time. Not particularly exceptional, and you're seeing it cost him a shot there. You gotta lead better, my friend. Even if that was on target, it wouldn't have connected. And then you're gonna want to switch to premium at distance. Maybe you're worried about being called a gold spamming noob, but if you're firing at a T50-2 at any kind of distance, APCR is magneted for the shell travel time alone. Goes from, what, 780 on this tank? There we go! Okay, had a couple of cold shots and finally connects one. Goes from 780 to 925 meters per second shell travel time, which will certainly make it easier to lead shells at distance. Now, noticing he's got no binos here, is rocking with a premium consumable by the looks of it, and that is going to help out the 350... that is going to help the 350 meter base view range, but still, you ain't spotting under your own power in this thing without a blessing from the gods of RNG. Speaking of the gods of RNG, 0.43 accuracy doing him no favours on that AMX. Now, here's an oddity, chat. Almost 4 minutes into the game, 0-1 is the scoreline. Not much is going on, but I'll tell you what, this is not a play from the enemy team. Watch that. Oh god, what? Don't miss. Thank god. Okay. Load the HE shell, my man. 530 alpha damage on the HE, 780 shell travel time. It's the same travel time, very nice, on HE as it is on AP. If you fire an AP at this distance against light tanks, there's no reason not to fire HE. ambitious, but I think it was worth a go. If you had a PCR there, I think perhaps a better chance of connecting. Let's talk about armor profile while we're here, shall we? Hull armor of the SU-100, 75 at the front, 45 at the side, and 45 at the rear. That was easy, wasn't it? It's worth noting though, with this line of TDs, one thing that a lot of people underappreciate is the gun mantlets. The gun mantlets of the SU, the ISU, the Object 704, the Object 268, they're very well armoured, right? Very well armoured, but that doesn't feel good. Perhaps you expected him to move, but hell, you gotta reload what? I can't remember the reload, but DPM 1906.73, and you're taking it to that guy. But the gun mantlets are very thickly armoured, which is nice. But they also occupy... This positioning on the enemy team is just hurting my brain. The position that they occupy, the percentage of the front of these tanks that those gun mantlets occupy is fairly substantial. It's not a moderate amount. It's in the region of, like, from a frontal aspect, an anterior aspect, it is in the region of 30 to 50%. Of the front of these tanks is gun mantlet. And them gun mantlets are thick. On this boy, it's like 160, can go upwards. There's areas where it's like 400 millimeters, which is utterly ridiculous. It's something you want to consider. Because of... Maybe engine deck went over the tank there by the looks of it. It's something you want to consider in these tanks. When you're in close quarters, and typically you don't particularly want to be, in this tank. It's not something you jump at the opportunity to go for, given the traverse speed of 36 degrees a second, and the poor soft terrain. If you find yourself on soft terrain, you are going to get flanked like a classic turretless TD. But closing the distance and consciously thinking, okay, where is the enemy tank's gun? Let's look at this. Where's their gun? Because wherever their gun is, I am going to stuff my gun mantlet as far into their face as I possibly can. If I am playing a TD, and I get to close quarters, if I'm playing one of these TDs, I get to close quarters, this is what you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing a whole heap, you're going to scope in, and you get that. That's what you get, and I'm going to be wiggling that son of a bitch all over the place, right? It is going to be in your face. And I'll tell you what, you will bounce more shells just by consciously doing that. Consciously being aware that, okay, if they hit my gun mantlet, they don't pen. Because it impacts the way you handle corners as well. Think of it like 87 is a good example, with that gun hiding the cupola by pointing the gun around a certain corner. In an SU, same thing. Which corner are you going to go around? Where are you going to go around a corner that reveals less of your tank, right? This side, you're going to poke a corner on this side and only reveal here. You're not going to reveal here. Just those little things that are worth considering. Where is my thing? There we go. I did it! Okay, so you got an SU-152 on the left of you. I forgot to mention that in the talking about this line. SU-152 on the left. I wouldn't have taken that shot because there's a risk of getting spotted, and you certainly weren't going to connect it. Oh, here we go. 12-degree gun arc, chat. 12. Now, I don't say that saying that that's bad. It's not exceptional. It's no Excalibur or T-28 concept or something like that. I mean, if you want to make it exceptional compared to something like an ARL V39 or something that can only turn the gun 7 degrees right. Oh, that was dirty. 7 degrees right or left, but compared to the 268, which only has 11. 12 degrees to the left or right is okay, it's adequate. It means that when you're sitting in a bush and you have people moving at sort of 100 meters, you're not too often going to be limited or going to run into the situation where you're turning your gun and then suddenly your gun blooms out because your hull had to turn. Now, you've got a fair amount of real estate in front of you, assuming you put the tank in the right position to work. And that's another consideration with these tankless TDs, is awareness of gun arc. So if I'm aware that I've got 12 degrees, and as you can see he's turning here, so his gun's pointing 12 degrees to the left, or minus 12 would be his gun arc right now. So 12 degrees to the left. What can that tell us? Well, if, let's say, I'm going up to a corner, let's say that this is the edge of the map. The edge of the map is where my mouse is going, right here. That's the edge. No one can ever be to the left of this. Well, what do? Any gun arc, when I put around this corner, any gun arc to the left of this area is useless. So what I would do is I would put the minus 12, the edge of my gun arc, right up against that, because I want the whole 24-degree gun arc to be in the playable area, or in the area of relevance where the tanks can travel, so that it is less likely that when I am aiming to track a tank, my hull moves because I have moved out of the viable gun arc and my hull has to move to catch up because that will bloom out my gun and I will miss. It's the same principle you have in arty, particularly an arty like a 261 or an arty like an M53, M55 even. You want to ensure that your gun arc, no matter how wide or small it is, you are considering the upcoming movements, you are considering where the enemy could go and anticipating it by positioning that gun arc, your viable arc of trajectory of fire. You want to put that in the relevant location and you want none of that to be wasted. So, relevant things for tiddies. Let's see, you're going to pound one into the SMV. Looks like he's nom-nomming on your ally AC there. And I warn you about the south of the map right now, what's going on over there, because it doesn't look pleasant. Now, what is this EVR doing? I don't... You could have had the kill shot there. Seems impatience might have crept in. Okay, well. Now it becomes interesting, does it not? A half-health SU-152, a full-health SU-100, and piggies, versus a Tiger 1, T-34D5, and a Dick Ermax. Now let's take stock of what we got against us here. I mean, arty's one thing, but the Dick Ermax, something that might be relevant about it in this, given the map that we're on, 15 degrees of gun depression. 15. That is astounding, and it does mean that if you encounter it on a hill like this, that's a viable engagement for a Dick Ermax. Now, granted, it may not be a viable engagement if he's poking it against the SU-152. Let's look at this gun quickly, shall we? Be good information. This is not a 150mm gun. The SU-152 is well known for having this derp gun, 152mm. One of the amazing things about it is heat shells. At tier 7, it has heat shells that do 700 alpha damage, and it has 250mm of penetration with those shells. Absolutely astounding. The classic, of course, is to load full HE with that derp gun for the 910 alpha on a penetration. Certainly would send that Dick Ermax back to the garage straight away. Possibly the T-3485 if it got a good angle as well, but certainly could take apart the Tiger 1 with the heat shells. But that said, this is a 122mm gun, and that's what you should be doing at this stage of the game. You should be looking back at that SU-152 and saying, okay, is his gun small and wide, or is it long? Is it similar to mine? Is it a 122? Is it a 152? Because that could provide relevant information. How much damage is he going to do to an enemy tank? What is his rate of fire? In this case, we know it's got a 122mm gun that's got 8.11 rounds per minute, some of the highest DPM in the entire game at tier 7, so we know his reload is going to be absolutely exceptional, and that's relevant information, so let's factor it in when we position here. I like the fact that we're sticking together at this point. Now, having no binos is troubling, but the camerating, oh boy, hello. Camerating, oh, and this guy's way too bold. You got a shot there? Yeah, you got a shot. Okay. So, the SU's still going to beat you on reload. Believe it or not. This SU is going to get this kill. Well, it's going to get this reload before you. That's how good his reload is. So, let's see. SU-152 coming up. Oh, well, he would have. But my man just got shot down by a Dickomax. What do we know? What do we know? Where can the Dickomax kill that SU from? Bit of a tense situation fighting this medium, but you should still have eyes for the kill feed. Dickomax just killed that guy. Let's look at... Let's fill in some blanks, shall we? Hang on. Oh, God. No, there we are. So, what does that give us? An angle of... It can be like there to there. Money's on ridgeline at this point, right? Money is in these bushes right over here. Useful info. Cool. Don't... Oh, what are you... Why? Why would you move? Why? It's... I mean, look, he wasn't spotted on the map. But, I mean, he's just killed the SU in front of you. Corpses tell you a lot in this game. They tell you a lot. Especially if it's the corpse of an ally that's just died right in front of you. I know you're focusing on this medium tank, but you get the kill on him, you immediately think, okay, what killed the SU? Dickomax? Okay, where can that shot come from? He's not behind him there. The arty would have been first on that list. He's not there. The only place he can be there. To go out here while still spotted? Huge misplay. Alrighty, and now we are a one-shot. And that is troubling. Now, looking at that Tiger 1's positioning on the map does make me question whether he's stuck there. I mean, it's viable. Now, this is a decent position for countering that Dickomax, or attempting to, and there you go. Alright, back off, double bush him. Double bush him, you got time. Okay, why the HE shield here? You got 530 alpha damage. Highly unlikely you're going to one-shot him. Highly unlikely. It's possible, I believe, mathematically, but you wouldn't bet on it. Halfway to Sunday, right? I don't know what that means. Reverse behind the bush, get your AP shells loaded. He's going to be a two-shot anyway. You might as well not risk not penning him. You got 61mm of pen, but you reverse until the bush is opaque, and then you fire. He'll know roughly where you are, but it's better than being spotted with an unknown quantity in the Tiger 1 and a known quantity in the Line 155. You don't fire this shell from this position unless you wait until he's behind here. This little bit of foliage, if he gets behind here and you fire just when his vision device, his vision ports, are behind this foliage, and you put one in his side, you might just save yourself. Oh, come on. I think you might have actually done it. I think he might not spot you for that. I don't know. Ah, dang. It would be really nice. Oh, God. Woo! Okay, so AP would have been better for that. Absolutely, but you can understand that. Oh. Well, boldness on the lane. And this would indicate further to me that the Tiger 1 is no longer present in this game. Because if the Dickonax and the Tiger 1 were closing in on you, it would be highly unlikely in my mind for the lane to be displaying such aggression. It would be more likely if the Tiger 1 was AFK or stuck or flipped or something, for the lane to say, okay, it's just me and this Dickonax, I need to go up and help, right? So this would probably indicate to me further, 6 degrees of gun depression working here, 390 alpha, rolling for 390, lovely. Right. At this point, you've got to assume that the Tiger 1 is stuck, or you gotta have a suspicion. And the SU is raising it in chat, yeah. I think it is likely at this point that the Tiger 1 is either AFK or he is stuck. Now, with 3 minutes left on this game, certainly worth going for the cap, if we're assuming that. But we might want to work on this lynch line. Like, when you locate... Excuse me. When you locate to the base along this lynch line, because getting spotted tells me something, and obviously spotting the Tiger tells me something as well. And also, not getting spotted tells me something. If I'm up here, it tells me a wide variety of information. What's worth noting as well is that skirting a lynch line is not only better for awareness, but it's providing you more tactical opportunity in terms of dictating an engagement and concealing one's position. What I mean by that is, let's say you were... let's say you're going along this lynch line, and the Tiger 1 gets spotted down in this water here. Information, lovely. But if you're on the lynch line, right, then you have a choice to go left of the lynch line or right of the lynch line. You don't have that choice if you're already on the left of the lynch line or you're already on the right of the lynch line. In this case, our friend in the issue here is very much on the left of this lynch line. And at this point, from this position, if you encounter a difficulty, presumably the Tiger 1, then you have no positional recourse at this point. Whereas if you're utilizing a lynch line, even if something like this, right, you're going over the top of this position, if you encounter difficulties, you can cover left or you can cover right. And that's why in this circumstance, lynch lines are better, not just for awareness, but also because in the situation that difficulty is presented, you have lay of the land cover available to you, left or right, because you are on the pinnacle of it, right? So, yeah, lynch line tactics. Let's persevere, asking the M40, by the looks of it, to shat on the Tiger 1, or shit on his last known position at least. Oh, and there we go. Let's go and have a look. What is up with this fellow? Oh, he's not... Is he? Tell me he's not stuck. Is he stuck? There's no way he's stuck there, please. Oh, God. He might be... I don't know if physics has just fucked him in the ass. I really don't. Okay, ooh. Bold to stop and turn there. Let the arty work. If he's a bot, he's got 280 alpha, and he did fire. Really bold. The arty could have just killed him. It's... I understand you probably want your Top Gun, but still. I don't know if he's a bot, I don't know if he's stuck. But yeah, you can certainly take him out from this bush. Want to be careful about it though. And oh my word, look at this boy. That's clean. Well. Top Gun, 5,000 damage. Fairly generic TD gameplay. We didn't get far out of base for the vast majority of this game. There were a couple of tactical missteps when it started to heat up a little bit. Much of that game was handed on a platter. It's what you'd expect. A degree of basic competence can be a really good offense against people who aren't coordinating, aren't working together. And in this case, with a Tiger 1 who was either stuck or a very unusual bot program. But still, a satisfying, enjoyable game. Only a couple of minor to major missteps. The positioning after the SU-152 died, moving out and taking that shot from the Dickomax, made the game a lot more difficult. Going down to one shot in that situation, entirely unnecessary in my opinion. And also loading the HE shell on the Dickomax. He was going to be a two-shot anyway, and failing to pen one HE shell could have left you in a situation where you have to hit him 3 times as opposed to 2. As it turns out, that didn't happen, but still, it was the incorrect play in that position. Other than that, thank you very much, Hijack, for sending that in. And yeah, if you would like to have your replay looked at in this style, then send it to replays.wallst@yahoo.co.uk. That will be in the description. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and yeah, until next time, farewell.
Peabody, cheers from Germany, man. Thought I'd hide a couple silly verses, my friend. He is a nice guy like Ned Flanders, but wielding a band hammer that make viewers feel him like a gang member, yeah. You better never ever shoot versus the man, cause that's a jerk off his hand, hence you're a permanent ban, yep. Like in a roleplay game, you wield a dagger but get smashed from Harvey.